between black and yellow. Charleston is in black. Roger Williams in yellow. Just started, going on the first beat. And it looks like Charleston had a good start at the pin. Roger winning at the boat. Breeze has switched around a little bit more to the north and steadied a little bit, so they moved the course. There was quite a bit of a delay between that sail off, getting Navy in, and starting off this gold round. So 4:30 here in St. Pete and just starting the gold round. And they've decided to get rid of the consolation round, so there will be no consolation round. Places 9 through 14 are decided, and 8 teams remain for the national championship. Looks like Charleston boat 12, which would be Juan Magley and Seppi McAdams, might be in the 1 here. And I can't tell. Well, this is a big cross here for boat 10, which is Mac Mason, Corey DeCalabas crossing ahead and having to lee bow. So Charleston looks like in first and maybe close for last. So they might be thinking of a play 4 on the first beat. So Roger Williams should look to go down and break that tie with Mac Mason. Think play 2, I would imagine. Leading back to the right. And there you see Magley stopping, luffing his jib. And Roger sweeping down to try to convert into this play 2, but looks like Ben Spector and Ali Blumenthal able to get a pretty good lee bow in on that boat from Roger on the right side of the course, and Mac Mace going pretty quick over here on the left side of the course. This might get broken up. They look like they're pretty far course right, a lot of starboard tack left, so that might advantage Mac Mace here, leading everybody going towards the left. Pretty shifty and puffy still, as you can see. Depth perception still really difficult. Those boats on the right look like they're starting to wind. And here goes Mace and DeCalabas. And they're going to cross everybody. So there you go. Play 1 for Charleston.
Do we have your commentary now? Do we have you commenting now?
And now see Ben Spector over there, far right of everybody, dialed into his own little breeze, and looks like he's getting advantage trying to grab that important ace in the hole. And Roger Williams now chasing this 1-2 for Charleston. Mac Mace is showing some wheels. Very rare. Pretty decent lead here for Charleston as well as they get to mark 1. A little bit steadier conditions than we saw earlier, so hopefully they should, well, I say hopefully because I'm biased, but they should be able to hold on to this on the downwind as Ben Spector and Ali Blumenthal look to chase down that last boat for Roger Williams. So yet another 1-2-6, unless Spector has a piece of boat 6 there, and it looks like maybe he does. And he does. So Spector and Blumenthal able to grab an ace and make that play 1 much more stable for Charleston going down the run. And there you see Spector aggressively playing back at Mark II, putting in that huge gap. I don't blame him with, you know, Mac Mace holding it down in second place. Kind of a liability with that low water line, so important for Ben to be putting that gap in. Too fat for what? And a nice sizable gap there for Charleston, so really stable as they go down the run for Charleston. As we look back to the starting area down on the first beat, we've got red and blue. That's Stanford in blue versus St. Mary's in red. And looks like Stanford seems to have a deep 6. I didn't see what happened on the start, but looks like they've got a deep 6, and St. Mary's looks like they have the 1. So see if Stanford can play back on boats 1 and 3 for St. Mary's. That looks like John Wallace and Fletcher Sims for St. Mary's. And now there's a big lefty on the course, so Stanford has now surged into the 1. Boat 17 would be Kieran Chung, I believe. As we see, the high boat should be Oliver Toole for Stanford. They're in 18, trying to sail back to boat 1 for St. Mary's and put them in last, trying to go play 4, while St. Mary's is trying to execute that pass back first and go play 2. You see St. Mary's there ragging their jib. It's Josh Greenslade executing that pass back with his teammate Fletcher Sims. And St. Mary's goes play 2 on the first beat against Stanford. And it does seem like there's a lot of starboard on this first beat, kind of like we saw this morning. If you're wondering what happened to my associate, Chris Love, he's busy doing other aspects of the job that I'm not capable of doing. I'm told he's going to join me here any minute, though. We could have a guest commentator while he's gone. Greg Fisher's walking to the tent. You ever heard of Greg Fisher? You want to do some commentary, Greg? We got a headset for you. Get in here, Greg. Come on. He's so modest, that Fisher. He doesn't really know much about sailing anyway. So it looks like a pretty stable play 2 for St. Mary's here. Coming into Mark 1. Again, so much starboard on that first beat. Doesn't give the trailing team much of an opportunity to catch up. Why don't we check back in towards the leeward mark with Charleston versus Roger Williams in the black and yellow boats. Looks like they've just come around. Whoop. There they are. Looks like that 1-2 still intact for Charleston. Magley and Mace and their respective crews leading the way. And look at that gap Spector put in there. He learned from the best. So really nice job there by Spector and Blumenthal to put in that solid gap and give their teammates Mac and Juan some breathing room up at the front. As Roger continues to chase Charleston up the last beat. A little bit vulnerable right now for Charleston, it seems, as 10, Mac Mace comes back across. A little bit of a righty out there for Roger Williams. Yeah, that boat far right for Roger Williams starting to get advantaged out there in a puff. You can see Mace and DeColibus trying to get back over to them to do some balancing. Try to hang on to the 1. So Roger Williams doing a nice job getting out to the side and getting this a little bit unbalanced. Charleston needs to hold on to that 1 as Spector is doing such a nice job gapping in the back and allowing for a play 4 opportunity if need be. And they're still quite a ways from the finish, so this race not over yet, as now Magley is getting vulnerable left as well. So it looks like Mac and Corey are putting on the afterburners here to keep themselves in first place, as Magley gets disadvantaged there and might be behind both Roger Williams boats now. And this is exactly why we were talking so early. If we pan back all the way to the last pair in the black and yellow, this huge gap in here where Ben Spector has been doing a phenomenal job keeping the last Roger Williams boat so far behind, so that allows Charleston to stay comfortable in a play 4 combination as Magley gets vulnerable to the 2 Roger Williams boats in the front pair. So why don't we pan back up, see what's going on at the top. And looks like a boat for Roger Williams is spinning now, but does Mac still have the 1 for Charleston? A little bit vulnerable left. Can't see the number on the Roger Williams boat, but here we need some speed from Mace for Charleston to kind of keep that first spot, because you need the 1 for a play 4. And it's hard to tell if they are laying the finish line. I don't think they are. It's also hard to tell how far to windward Mac and Corey are. And that Roger Williams boat is still spinning. So that's boat 5 for Roger Williams, which should be Alec Anderson. No surprise to see him using the wheels to get advantaged. Looks like trying to pinch to make the finish line, and can he make it? Looks like yes. So now Charleston turning back to go into a play 2. If we go back here, we'll see Roger Williams' second boat is going back now to Spector. If we pan to the right, trying to do a pass back between the 4 and the now 6 as Magley and Mac Mace now sailing downwind on the last beat to get back in the action here. So boat 4 for Roger Williams, that's Dylan Vogel. Boat 6 is Tyler McDonald. And looks like Dylan has a nice ride on Ben Spector, as now Magley gets back to him. Mace is going all the way back to Tyler McDonald. And now we've got 3 boats for oh no, a dial down, and that is not the move. So now we're going to have a protest situation. A flag should be coming, or it looks like Roger Williams is just taking the penalty. So now it's up to Juan Magley in boat 12 to do a pass back here and get both Mace and Spector back ahead. If yellow boat 4 can get across the line here in third, that'll be a win for Roger Williams. So that's Tyler McDonald with Bianca Rahm for Roger Williams. And it looks like Charleston's doing a nice job balancing there. Should get across 2-3-5 here for for Charleston. 2-3, and if Mace can lay the finish line, and he can. So a 2-3-5 for Charleston. Charleston gets the win over Roger Williams in an exciting last beat. If we pan back to the leeward mark, we've got Stanford and St. Mary's just going around the mark. St. Mary's is in red, Stanford in blue. And really tough to tell from this angle, but I think that those 2 Stanford boats, 18 and 16, seem to be behind. And here comes boat 2 for St. Mary's. Should be Josh Greenslade sailing back now, trying to go or stay in play 2 for St. Mary's. Boat 17 for Stanford should be Kieran Chung with Yuri Namakawa trying to hang on to the 1. Kind of getting into desperation mode if you're Stanford here with a 5-6 pretty well balanced. And now St. Mary's, I believe that was John Wallace in boat 3 that just tacked. Maybe in first now, looking to go play 1. But there, it's a smart duck there by John Wallace, not getting greedy and taking the 1. Trying to stay free and clear, disciplined in play 2, which St. Mary's is kind of known for. And Chris Love still looking perplexed over there on the other monitor.
It's getting better.
He's getting close, though, he tells me, so. St. Mary's still staying so disciplined, balancing, trying to stay even in their play, too, as we get almost probably 3/4 of the way up the beat here to the finish. And starting to get a little bit lighter now. And now things getting interesting with Stanford giving up the 1. And Stanford now aggressively trying to get into play, too. I think I just saw a red flag from an umpire. And there is a red flag. And it is on... Who is it on? Stanford, boat 17, Kieran Chung. So once again, Stanford's going to be in that 5-6. St. Mary's, though, has the 1. Not really controlling the 2. Boat 16 for Stanford, which I believe is Kevin Laube and Kelly Ortel. And St. Mary's now boat 2. It's going to come across. And looks like a win. That's Josh Greenslade and John Wallace here coming across the line. 1-2 for St. Mary's, defeating the Stanford Cardinals. So great win for St. Mary's. They continue to sail really well. Hey, Chris Love from Chris Love Productions is back in action to do some commentating at the Team Race Nationals.
Oh, hey, Zeke.
Hi.
I made some graphics for the rotations for this top 8.
Well, hot darn.
Did you know that the rotation of the top 8 teams we're using for this Nationals is different than the top 8 order of team matchups that we used last year, which is what I thought we were going to use.
No, I didn't know that.
Also, did you know the abbreviation for Navy is NA, not NAVY, as I thought?
You know what I bet NA stands for?
Navy.
Naval Academy.
Yep. You're probably right. Well, anyway.
Anyway,
that was about a 15-minute delay on my part.
So it seems like they're only... Well, where are the green and orange boats? Are there green and orange boats out there? There's the green and orange boats. So that is a start between Georgetown in green and Brown in orange. They look like they're probably in their last minute or so to the sequence.
All right. So
look at that Sunshine Skyway Bridge in the background.
Race 94. 94 out of 119.
And good breeze down there. Probably the best we've seen all day.
No, that still says prelims. That has to be fixed.
Oh, Chris is leaving now. Bye, Chris. I'm just going to go ahead and do this broadcast by myself then. So again, this is Georgetown in green and Brown in orange. Brown in orange. Brown leading at the, looks like everywhere. And if nobody's over, then that's a great start for Brown. Great start at the pin. Nice seagull. Great start at the pin. Maybe getting pinched off at the boat, and here's a red flag going against Brown. That's boat 8 for Brown. I think that's Colin Smith. So a little bit of a tough break there for Brown, but I think they still have a play 1 opportunity without the ace once again. So Georgetown looking to sail fast down here at the bottom of this beat, try to grab a pair and go play 2 if they can. And Brown is just thinking about extending. Fleet Racing trying to be play 1, which is 1 and 2. We had a question from my good friend Allie Blumenthal's mother, Jamie Blumenthal, pardon me, wants to know if we're going to have any footage via GoPro inside these vessels. And And the answer is no, we are not. The College Sailing Fleet Race Nationals, covered by ESPN with Gary Jobson, typically does a good job putting the cameras in the boats. There was some footage from the women's via GoPro inside the boat, but not from team racing. So this is the best we got. Thank you for your question. So Georgetown looks like they've now picked up at least one other pair, Georgetown in green, and might even have the one now. Things change really quickly as we saw that great breeze at the starts now sort of tapered off a little bit. And we've been seeing sort of these big righty winders. You see the breeze boat 14 is in compared to 15 and 9. Completely different. So things changing quickly. And now boat 7 for Brown seems to be back in action.
And I'm back in action.
Thank God.
It's the little things. You notice it said prelims at the bottom, and that's not accurate. It's the top 8 round, so I fixed that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's Tyler Rice, I believe, in boat 7 for Brown that was just ragging their jib. Boat 13 for Georgetown would be Alex Post, if I'm not mistaken, with Katia Da Silva. They were the boat, well, I guess they're the boat that's now grabbing an ace on Colin Smith, who was spinning after the start. So really shifty. Everything's changing really quickly. Looks like Brown, I think Brown definitely has the 1, it seems, doing some work on 14, as now Georgetown ducking boat 9 and 14 coming for a pin to try to get the 2-3, trying to go play 2. As boat 7, Tyler, sweeps down and tries to execute the 1-3 pass back. So as long as they're not now vulnerable to 15 all the way on the right, that looks like a pretty well executed pass back there by Brown.
Very nice. And Zeke, thanks so much for covering these races.
That's why you pay me the big bucks, Chris.
We'll talk about that later.
Whoa!
We're getting a lefty down here at the headquarters, blowing papers around.
So really well done there by Tommy Fink and Tyler Rice for Brown executing that play 1. And once again, we're going around the mark here with a 1-2-6.
What do you think? Any difference from this morning? We had quite a few of these races get turned around on this 3rd and 4th leg. Is Brown's lead big enough to just sail on and keep going fast?
We're about to find out.
Interesting to see the breeze really hasn't evolved that much in the past few hours. It's come in, it seems a little steadier, but there's still these big lulls out there.
Apparently I've made yet another mistake. Thank you to Dylan Paiva for shouting me out here from ODU. Jamie Blumenthal is Allie's dad, not mom.
Ouch.
Yeah. You know, the reason I said that is because Allie was telling me earlier today that her mom was giving me some positive feedback, and so I guess that's where I made the mistake. But apologies to Mr. Blumenthal.
So it looks like the next race is gearing up but hasn't started yet.
And that'll be
yeah, go ahead. Yale in black and Navy in yellow. But for now, Brown
boat 7
barely has the 1-2 still.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler's slowing up to get ready to balance, and Colin's still way behind with no ace. So still chasing for Georgetown. Looks like doing a pretty good job of it, as Tommy Fink is sort of getting vulnerable here. Can't see that sail number for Georgetown. So that's 14 for Georgetown.
Is that Tyler Rice in the middle with the long hair? In boat 9? Is he sailing the high boat?
I thought he was sailing the low boat.
Could be right.
We could have poor information. We've had that all day. So.
Well, remember the Brown information was wrong earlier.
Oh,
could be
well.
wrong again.
Oh, that's right. You know, I think you're right. That
I think
is
that's
definitely
Tyler Rice
yeah,
with
you're
that
absolutely right.
extremely long locks. And I was just commenting, he was looking back intently, waiting to see when 14 was going to make their move.
And 14.
Ooh, double jibe there. Pretty close.
We're gonna
Yeah, there's a protest. Did that boom hit when he jibed? Because if that's the case, that's going to be a foul on Brown.
And you see it's Brown, it's Tyler that's protesting. They're getting the umpires involved. Not necessarily the best move when you're winning. But let's see how it plays out.
But quickly getting swallowed up here by the fleet.
Yep. And don't see a flag yet.
There it is, red flag, and it's going to be on. I'm not sure.
It's going to be on Brown.
To. I think so too.
It's on Tyler, so
that'll be for not giving room after changing course.
So a tough break there. Not always. I think it was Chris Barnard for Georgetown. I didn't see him protest. Not always the best idea to get the umpires involved in a race that you're winning if you're Brown. But moving on, so Georgetown's going to go around Mark 3 in a solid 2-3-4. Colin Smith is being welcomed back to the race. And now Tommy Fink holding the 1 down for Brown.
Well, good break for Georgetown there on that protest situation, but it's not sealed up yet. Those 5-6 boats from Brown, just a few boat lengths behind the 4 boat from Georgetown. So this is always the question when you've got a 1-5-6 like Brown does here. If you are in Tyler's boat, boat 7. No, Tommy's boat, boat 7. What's your move? I mean, you want to keep the 1 if you think your team's going to get out on their own, but
yeah,
what
absolutely.
do you do?
Your job is keep the 1, and your job is hurt the 2. So, Georgetown should be trying to keep their 2-3-4 spread out and really even on ladder rungs, such that it makes life hard on the 1. But as soon as one of those guys gets advantaged for Georgetown and there's a clear second place, then it's Brown's job to go back, Tommy's job to go back and rag on the most advantaged player, and in hopes that the last 2 boats on Brown can pick up 1 guy and go into play 4. That's why the most important thing is to hang on to that 1 if you're the lead boat in a 1-5-6. And Georgetown's getting pretty aggro here, trying to get involved with Tommy, who we believe is in first place. And if Tommy can pin boat 15, that takes the weave out of it, and we see almost a dial down there.
This could be a pass back here.
Yeah, I don't
Brown's
see any
got to
hands.
play 4. Oh, boat 12 swoops in. Oh, is that 12? It's 13? I don't know. Swoops in
13,
and prevents the tack, but now they're able to tack again. So a pass back coming here. If Brown is able to make this pass back, they could be play 4. Ugh. Boat 14 just keeps getting more clear air as they get wound up. Oh boy, and that was lee bowing. I thought boat 8 was going to be able to slam them for sure, but they just pulled away to leeward. And Brown is in the same situation they were just in a few moments ago.
And now we see boat 15 for Georgetown, who had just sailed all the way back, and oh boy, here's a dial down.
Well, Brown's got that boat pinned, at least for now, but not willing to give up the 1. They check back in. Georgetown continually challenging that 1. They may have just given it up. Looks like Chris Barnard. Is he wearing the white hat?
I think
15?
that's Nevin Snow, actually.
Oh, okay. They both have white hats on.
Yeah, I think Barnard is 13 tacking now. And, 7's got a piece of him. So I kind of would fault Georgetown there for getting a little too, and there's a duck by Georgetown. So I think Georgetown got too involved with the 1 early and now a protest.
I think that was a collision between 13 and 8, and it's hard to imagine this going against anyone except Georgetown as they swoop down on port.
So lots of dialing down going on here on this last beat. And there's another.
Wow.
There's absolutely going to be a protest for that, I would imagine. But if it's all clean, then a really nice job by Brown staying alive here.
So Brown now in a 2-3 something.
And now pinned on the right. but looking like they absolutely have the 5-6 locked down.
Yeah, I think they're controlling both of those boats at this point.
And I don't see a protest or an umpire flag, so we're still racing forward. Now Brown's pinned on the right. So for the second time, we've seen the most advantaged player in a play 2 getting pinned by the 1. But did Georgetown just give up the 1?
Looks like it. All these boats getting lifted here.
And just about 50 or 60 yards from the finish. And wow, things are changing quickly. Not really solid for either team.
Those two brown boats nearest to us look like if they can
get in the box.
As long as they're free to tack again, and I think they will be. They should be the 1-2 at this point.
Where's 15 though? Yeah, I think you're right. I think Brown's going to get a little lift there. And boats 8 and 9.
There it is, a 1-2 for Brown. Wow, what a finish.
And that ends up being, I believe, Tyler and Collins. So Collins sails all the way back from a deep 6 and ends up winning the race for Brown and crossing with a 1-2. So a nice job, nice win over Georgetown for Brown.
So that'll bring their overall record to 12 and 2, losing only to St. Mary's and Roger Williams in that opening round.
So these black and yellow boats, this is Yale versus Midshipman. Yale's in black, Navy in yellow. If you weren't with us earlier, Navy just squeaks into the final 8, winning a sail-off between Hobart, Boston College, and Navy.
Lengthy sail-off.
Yes, extremely lengthy. And if we... So looks like a 1-2 for Yale with an ace coming up to the first weather mark.
Now remember, Yale has the best record coming into this round. They're 12 and 1. They only had a single loss, and that was to Brown yesterday.
And I was wrong. It's a 1-3 for Yale, as Navy's able to sneak in there and hold on, get a piece of the 2. So can Navy now, I think that's Devin Laviano for Navy, can he put a hurt on Chris Segerblom for Yale? So sketchy doing these pass backs at Mark II.
Yeah, Yale is really pushing it here.
And Navy looks like they just took themselves out, didn't they?
It does.
Now tacking at Mark II.
I think that's a circle. I think that's a penalty turn right there.
Lots of people doing penalty turns, it seems, and hands in the air.
Wow. I don't know what to make of this.
Well, yeah, me neither. Until we see a red flag or so.
The way it's working out is Yale is around with a 1, probably 3.
6.
And a 6.
And stopping at Mark II. Wow, what a fiery first batch of races here in this final 8.
Yeah, these guys are geared up. They're ready to do battle out there. No more of this fleet racing style. Everyone's looking for the kill. It's interesting with all the activity up there. No flags that I saw.
Maybe yeah, or hand. I didn't even see any hands. I saw 2 voluntary circles there for either team. And Navy getting a little bit advantage there with starboard tack advantage on the inside. Something's going on with that last Yale boat. Did their rudder fall off or something? I don't know what they're doing.
Let's get a closer look at that last black boat. They're reaching into the water.
And is that boat 11 for Yale? I think that's Graham Landy.
Could it just been weeds?
I don't know, but they were parked there for a minute. That's Graham Landy with Heather May for Yale. And yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
I think they may have had something caught on their rudder because they're both back there, and then they both. Is what? We got some insider info with binoculars here. It sounds like maybe the tiller broke during that collision, and so he was repairing it, putting it back in.
Either way, it's a 6 for Yale, and trying to hang on to a 4 and trying to hang on to a 2, it looks like, but super tight. And we've got this Navy boat, I can't tell who it is, going fast on the inside. And if that can get cleaned up with their teammate on the outside, then we could be looking at a play 1 for Navy.
The other boats on the course are Roger Williams and Stanford, and we'll get back to them in just a moment. But I do want to see the rest of this leg on this very tight Yale and Navy race.
And I think that's Cam Coleman for Yale now squeaking ahead. That black boat 10, I believe. And Chris Segerblom now coming together there and grabbing a pair. So if Cam can hold on to that 1, then Yale will have a play 4 opportunity if Chris Segerblom can get Graham Landy out of 6th. And Navy not looking back. They are playing forward wholeheartedly, trying to get into this play 1.
Well, their teammates just
And there's a
ducked
flag,
behind.
looks like. Is that a black flag?
Ah, could be.
So that could be for a broken tiller if that
in
is in fact.
Yeah. So a black flag, if you're not familiar, in team racing is different in match racing. In match racing, black flag means the race is over and they've disqualified a team. In team racing, it means there's going to be a hearing after the race, and that's the typical reasons for a black flag hearing are a collision that results in damage, such as a broken tiller, and what's called a professional foul. In other words, a infraction that's going to cost the other team the race. This could be an example of both of those things.
Could be. And Navy there looks like they were able to get the 1 as Yale tries to go play 2. So things changing there at the bottom of that run. And yeah, Graham Landy clearly without a tiller, it seems.
I think he's got a little stub or something.
He's got
back
some
there.
sort of
He's
stub. It should
all
work
the
well
way-
for him.
He's he's all the way back there, trying to repair it again, and
Right.
he is basically out of this race. So
And doing the best he can, which is his. He does have an obligation to try to finish the race as best he can, and then we'll go into that black flag hearing Chris was just talking about. But in the meantime, it won't matter if maybe Yale can get out of here with a 1-2 or a 1-3. I'm not sure how this is looking depth perception-wise. Should we take a moment to pan up to the weather mark to check out
yes,
the Raj and
let's do
Stanford?
that. We'll step into race number 96. This is Roger Williams in blue and Stanford in red.
Looks like advantage Stanford, huh?
Yes, it does. Roger with the last place and not the first place. Other than that, I'm not
Other than
confident
that,
enough
it
to
is
tell
pretty
you.
tight. Yep.
Stanford with a huge gap between the 1 and the rest of the fleet. But now the rest of the fleet coming together. Roger's got something there. All right, that was a depth perception problem. Roger might have something going on here. As we move in tighter, it looks like that may be
That boat we
red
thought might have been in
Stanford boat.
second was actually in last, it looks like.
Yes. And so Roger is putting on the brakes here, trying to make sure that their 2, 3, 4 are even. Those ladder rungs that Zeke talked about. If you picture the course having a ladder down from connecting Mark 2 and Mark 3, basically even if they're on the perpendicular ladder rungs.
So a play 2 for Roger Williams on the downwind, trying to keep it balanced, and they are awfully good at that, so well coached by those Silver Panda coaches who have some experience doing this.
That's right, Amanda Callahan and Colin Merrick, both coaches for Roger Williams and both world champions, multiple-time U.S. Team race champions.
You saw Graham Landy in the background there holding the top of his rudder. Made me chuckle.
I hope someone's taking some pictures of that.
That is some quality stuff. So should we check out that finish? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, this neither of these races are solidified. So let's go back to black and yellow and see where they're at.
So
Yellow
again,
and
yellow is Navy. Looks like they've got the 1. Tough to tell if they have the 2. And we're pretty sure that they don't have the 6. Oh, maybe they do. Is Graham Landy potentially like sailing this well with no
He's
tiller?
pretty fast.
Look at boat 11. You don't even see Graham on the boat because he's off. He's sitting on the transom holding the top of the rudder, and they're flying.
Yeah, you mentioned that Yale has an obligation to sail as well as they can. If they win the race, it won't matter.
This is some impressive stuff. from Graham Landy and Heather May in boat 11 might all just be depth perception, but.
Well, they're definitely in it, and that's something. I mean,
And yeah, there's a
if
Navy
it
boat.
were
I think
either
that's
of
Mary
us-
Hall ducking behind Graham, who has
And we've got,
got a
circles in the back, though. So that third Yale boat just did a 720.
And now Graham looks like he's leading the way for Yale and maybe the race.
He's certainly got a piece of that boat. It's going to be a lee bow here.
You've got to be kidding me. It's not going to matter if
Yeah.
Navy can stay play 2, which it looks like they can.
So the question now is, did Graham sail too well? Are they going to have trouble making the case that his...
No way. So on the water as it stands, that'll be a win for Navy. We're going to put a little asterisk by it because that's likely to have a black flag hearing and potentially a resale. But wow.
Yeah.
Graham
that was
Landy
something.
just sailed from last to first with no tiller. So that's a thing. Anyway, there's a race going on to leeward between Stanford and Raj. Stanford again in red, Roger Williams in bleu. And last we looked, it was a 2-3-4 for the Dodge.
It
in
is not that
blue.
now.
It isn't.
It looks
like
to
a
me to be
2-3-6.
2-3-6.
So can boat 1 for Stanford, who I think, again, is Kevin Laube and Kelly Ortel. Can they put that gap in and stay play 4 for Stanford?
Well, so far, so good. But it looks like things are even worse for Roger, as Stanford may be also potentially turning this into a play 1.
Man, this has been a day of ever-changing plays on the team racing course. We've seen many races with almost every single different play being executed at some point. Mentally draining, as we're now approaching, what, hour 10 or so?
It's 5:15. We started at 9:45. I'll let you do the math.
I don't want to do that math. It looks like it's getting light now on the last beat. But yeah, it sure does look like Stanford now has a 1-2. And with that comforting ace. Hard to tell if boat 16, I think that is for the Raj, has a piece of the furthest right Stanford boat. Course right. But yeah, Stanford, actually their ace is now at least in 4th. So a 5-6 for Roger Williams. And looks like a pretty launched 1-2 for Stanford. We're about to find out with a cross.
I found some more information about the Stanford sailors, if you're interested.
I'm so interested.
Well, for instance, Haley Kirk, who crews for Oliver Toole, she has 2 golden retrievers at home. Golden captain and skipper. Coincidentally, her favorite shows from the early 2000s and 1990s are Boy Meets World and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Now, how is that coincidental? Explain that to me. Or was that just a filler word there that you broadcast types use?
That was just poor English language.
Well,
Trying to tie 2 things together that have nothing to do with
little
each
to
other.
nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
That's all right. I appreciate your honesty.
These
So,
things
yeah,
happen.
that's a win for Stanford against Roger Williams. So Roger Williams out of the gates here with 2 losses after sailing so well to get into this top 8. So the next race looks like there's the umpire talking to Graham Landy, or maybe perhaps just towing him in. Although it didn't look like he would need much
yeah,
help.
I don't think he
getting
needs any help. He might be faster like that. They should look into that, sailing Graham at the back and Heather all the way at the front.
They went from 6th to 1st.
It was very impressive.
So hopefully the USF crew here has a new tiller or rudder or whatever's broken waiting on the beach, and we will not have a delay waiting for the black and yellow boats. Meanwhile, green and orange are on their way out to the race course. It'll be brown and green versus Charleston in orange, and they're just making their way to the starting area.
There should be plenty of extra equipment here. We've got the whole Eckerd fleet that is not in use, that was
You'd
used
think.
during women's. Hopefully someone will run that out to the beach. Oh, I just heard they've got 6 extra.
They have
everything.
6 extra. Wow.
Yeah.
They're so prepared.
And that's without the help of Eckerd's fleet. Yeah, that's just USF being Johnny on the spot with that stuff. We are now between races, and that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
This is one of those, I think this is just one of those unfortunate moments in the rotation where we don't have any teams ready to go yet.
Well, I might go take a water break. How do you feel about that,
I can
spectators?
I can cover you, sure.
You can cover me for a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay, because I'm thirsty and I'm running low. You can see.
fill her up.
You know, but Paul's offering to go for me, but I kind of just want to get out of here and go for a walk, you know.
It's all good. Enjoy yourself. If you want, you can take the microphone and, you know, do something. That's all right. These things happen as we get later into the day.
I'm going to talk to Graham.
You should.
Should I see if I can?
Yeah, take it with you. Well, Zeke is taking a walk, and hopefully he's going to check out, get the story from Graham Landy. But we are back on the course now with Brown in green and Charleston in orange. It looks like they are coming up to the start. I'm guessing inside 1 minute. Probably a lot closer, judging by the distance those teams are to the starting line. Of course, only 4 boats on the line, so we see one of the Charleston boats is being pinned off the line down there at the pin end, now just coming back in. So interesting strategy there. As we see Brown digging into the right and then coming back. But that Charleston boat, boat number 7 on port, is going to be allowed to sail on and into the 1. So Charleston, a 1-4-6 it looks like, winning only the top pair. Brown winning the back 2 pairs.
And I was like, no.
And that sound was Zeke's open microphone down on the beach. He's working on getting that interview with Graham Landy as we speak. Now tacking back, and looks like Brown may be in the 6. I'm not sure if there was a change in control there. Oh no, that was the middle pair. This is the back pair. So Charleston still in the 6. If we pull back and see all 6 boats, we'll see that Brown is still winning this one. So this is race 97. This is the 6th race of today, the last race of the 2nd flight of this top 8 round. And with this left shift on, everybody on port tack.
Oh, hey. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? I'm working hard. Nick, are you thought you were recruiting?
Now we see the teams coming back, and it looks like Charleston may have caught a little break there. If those top 2 boats are able to cross, we may have yet another situation of a team with a 1-2 and no ace. Yeah, so boat 8, the middle boat from Charleston, just sailing right out of their cover and into second. Zeke, you'll be pleased to see. Did you know you were walking out on a Charleston Cougars race?
Yeah, I needed some water. I was really thirsty.
All right, just checking. So they started with a 1 something not so good and a 6, and they've worked into a 1-2-6 now.
They'll do that.
A lot of left, a big left shift on this one. But the Cougars able to catch just a little bit of shifts up the middle.
Are you sure about that?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. Is boat 7 ahead of 13 and 14?
Nope. That would be the depth perception again.
Well,
It's ahead of 14.
All right.
Yeah,
You
able
were
to
right.
get in there. But, well, no, I think 13 was able to cross there. But anyway,
Anyway,
awfully-
it looks
it's
pretty
awfully
good.
tight.
It looks better for Charleston than it does for Brown at the moment.
For a while, they didn't have an ace, and now, in fact, they do.
They do, as Juan was able to pass Tyler. Juan is really fast.
Juan Magley, speedy sailor for the Charleston Cougars.
CVS calling me again to tell me about my blood pressure medication. That's the 3rd time today.
They really want you to know, Zeke. It's important. You got to take
Well,
care
I'm
of
not
that
even
stuff.
in Connecticut. Do they, I'm not even there. I can't get it if I wanted to.
That's true. Someone to tell them.
Is that a hand in the air?
On which boat?
It looked like, I think that's Mac Mace's boat, the second one for Charleston. I thought I saw a hand in the air. It might have just, that looks like a hand in the air. That'd be really upsetting if he's protesting someone. Maybe it's just, it was an illusion. Oh, I think it might be that corner of his mane. Look at that.
Yeah.
Woo! Doesn't you see what I mean, though?
Yeah, no, I do.
He's looking backwards a lot. I think he's scared.
Guys, don't give Mac Mace a lot of slack on that team, do you?
I love that guy.
Well, we don't see Brown trailing in too many races over the past couple days. Only 2 losses. They're thinking about how to get back into this one. So where's the passing opportunity for Brown? They look like they're not really in touch with that second place.
I
boat
thought
at
they had the
moment.
right idea trying to do a high-low, but this left shift seems to have stuck on this run. You see everybody reaching, so that boat that was originally going high for Brown sort of just ends up sailing a lot of unneeded extra distance.
Right.
And in fact, Magley seems like he might even be up to the 4. But a nice job by Mac and Ben keeping the 1-2 separated here.
Now the breeze starting to square off. You see the
Yep.
boats going back to wing. And when it's a reach like that, it's really just a parade. It's not a lot of passing lanes, but now with the breeze squaring up.
And again, that depth perception does make it hard. We can't really tell how advantaged that furthest away boat just going to a wing there for Brown. Can't really tell how well they're doing. Certainly not behind Juan. And Mac
Little
Mace now
1-2
luffing
bump.
and going behind.
Ooh,
So
wow.
we stand severely corrected.
Yep, I thought for sure he had that 2 locked up, but
So-
instead he tacks back.
I don't think he tacked. I think
No,
it was a jog.
attacks. I
Oh,
meant to-
attacks.
Yeah, it wasn't well enunciated.
It's getting late.
It is.
So it looks like a 1-3-5 for Charleston. Potentially going play 4. Juan Magley should be looking to start gapping that last boat, who I believe is Tyler, for Brown. And there it goes. Big luff here. But Brown doing a good job staying connected. And can they execute the pass back? No. So Juan Magley here going to have a field day at Mark 3 with Tyler Rice.
Boy, tacking around. That used to be. Remember when that was the play? Wow, he did get in there anyway.
You know, I think he tacked into that overlap and is actually entitled room. That's a pretty good move. If
I
they were
thought
in the zone
College Sailing took the lead on that and overrode that rule and said, no, that's crazy. You can't do that anymore.
that would be news to me.
Well, in any case, the race goes on. I don't see any protests.
I don't
or
either.
The sailors obviously are comfortable with what just occurred.
And it looks like it's a 2-3-4 now for Brown. Oh boy. So that's Mace spinning a circle, at least one circle. And looks like it. So there was a protest and a red flag there. We just weren't able to see it. As Tyler Rice, good move, tacks inside at the leeward mark into an overlap, obtaining mark room. And putting his Brown Bears into a 2-3-4 against Charleston.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to ask more about that.
I know they changed part of that rule to say that if you tack into that overlap and the outside boat from that point is unable to give mark room, then they're in the clear. But I know, as far as I know, if you tack inside into an overlap in the zone, you are now entitled to mark room.
I thought what I had remembered was that when that rule came about, and of course, remember Matt Knowles found that rule before it happened and put it on Sail Groove, and a lot of people picked up on it. They realized that was a mistake, that it was an unintended consequences as boat 14 is spinning here for Brown, and that's going to open things right up for Charleston. That's 2 circles, so that was an umpire call.
Jeez. I didn't even see, that's the second time I didn't even see an incident or a protest. So now back into a play 4 for Charleston, as I can't tell if that's Mac or Juan now sailing back. I think it's Mac Mays and Corey DeColibus sailing back to now go to Gap Town on that last Brown boat.
And meanwhile, the top 2 Brown boats closing in on your boat number 9. Trying to make this play 2 happen. So who's got the better boat handling?
We'll see. Charleston, so disciplined, goes exactly into their roles. Juan starts going out to that right side, trying to push the race, and Mac Mace straight back, start gapping the 6. It's his favorite thing to do, besides eat ice cream.
What do you think? Play, is this 1-2 going to work out?
So Brown now has sailed, they're sailing back, it looks like, almost to Mace, and immediately you see Spector now going over to try to help and do a 1-2 pass back on the right with Juan.
Now it's hard to tell which threesome is. It looks to my eyes that the threesome on the left is way far ahead, but I'm not sure if that's true. I think that these 2 boats may be just about even on the ladder rungs.
It is
especially with
tough to
that
tell.
with that threesome on the right going super slow as they try to execute this pass back. Watch out for boat 15 for Brown, and now I see your lead boat for Charleston coming back to check in. He's still got him, but just barely. So neither team able to exactly execute that pass back. They had to rebalance.
And who's in first is what I want to know.
This boat, boat 8, you just missed the cross. Boat 8 came across to double check on that near the near boats, but all of these boats are very, very close at this point. Neither side paid heavily.
Yeah, so boat 8 would be Spectre for Charleston, and I think that is Wani in, is about to be in second if Spectre can get a pin down on boat 15.
He's going for it.
So that pass back was executed in the back, it looks like, to get Mace into 6th. So Spectre does get that pin on. Magley now sailing free and clear. And Spectre to slam dunk. And can they finish off this pass back and go play 1?
Second place Brown boat now swooping in, trying to turn this play 2 still.
So super tight. Charleston looks like they did manage to get the pass back done to go play 1, but without an ace. And does Magley have enough of boat 15? Looks like
he's got enough to control. He tacks right in front there, forces 15 to tack back.
And
Things are looking better and better for Charleston.
And just about 20 yards to the finish.
On the second tack, much further ahead.
Oh,
12's
no.
not, or 13's not possibly pinning here, are they?
Can Juan make the finish? He does not get room to tack, and
they're on the other side.
outside.
Magley is forced around, and he's going to have to jibe back. Brown successfully turns it 2-3, but 15 is also hooked to the outside. So Brown's boat 15 has to jibe around as well. So Brown's going to finish second here. Charleston picks up the 3rd place spot.
And that'll be enough to do it.
And that's it. A 1-3-4 for Charleston. Wow, what a play at the end there, splitting on the outboard engine of the finish boat. Incredible.